Hi guys, this is me, Renee, and I'm back. Like I said, I'm going to try to do better at getting you guys this information and these videos out more often. So what I'd like to talk about today, I don't know if you guys saw this press conference. You know, this coronavirus is running loose around here, around the globe, not just America, around the globe. So I don't know if you guys saw the press conference that was held at the White House today with Trump. Did any of you guys see that spectacle? Because that's exactly what it was, a spectacle. Guys, I could barely stomach watching this for over an hour. I'm telling you, once again, and I'll keep reiterating it. If we don't get ourselves together, I'm telling you, we're going to find ourselves in a bad place. Now look guys, I'm going to try to analyze and break this down for you, what went on at that press conference. First of all, walk with me here. Now first of all, he has this panel up there with him, right? We know how he talks, how he speaks. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer. We get it, you know. But so he has his panel up here with him. No one that looked like us was up there, I can tell you that. All white men, except for two women. One looked like she was of Indian descent, and the other, guess, Caucasian. And so they're all up here, you know, speaking, and, you know, they got it down pat. You know, they know what they need to tell us and what we need to do, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just telling myself, okay, Renee, just try to hear them out. Try to hear them out. Just sit down for a minute. Try to hear them out. Listen to it. So, guys, I'm telling you, I went through a myriad of emotions because I was angry. Then I felt like throwing up, as I was just like, this is, and I don't have corona, y'all. This was just listening to this foolery. Now, break it down on even further. Okay, so now they're collaborating, right, with private businesses, with the public sector. Now, guess who was up there? Once again, all white men. And I got to just analyzing this because that's how my brain works. These were all industry leaders. So where were we? No black industry leaders? All white men. All up there giving one another kudos, right? Yeah, you're right, Bill. Yeah, you're right. On what we should do and what's best for us, right? And so, as they're explaining what they're going to offer for free, guys, listen to this. In this capitalistic society that we live in, how many know people don't really do anything for free? Trust and believe that these people who were up there representing the private sector, they're looking for some payback. And guess what? They're going to get it. They're going to get some payback. So when they finished, you know, doing all their talking of breaking down what was going on, what they were going to do, finally, we've come up with a plan, finally. So this one gentleman, Dr. Anthony Fauci or Fucci, I don't want to tear his name up. That's his name, right? So he gets up and he's like the one that's really driving home what needs to be done, what steps we need to take, where we're at, what the president's going to do, you know, what the government, the Fed's going to do, and different things like that. And so, you know, Trump is letting him kind of come up there quite often so he can do some explaining about, you know, how they're going to handle this moving forward. So it gets to the point of taking questions from the press. Guys, I need you to comment. I need to know who watched this. I need to know who watched this press conference. Because I'm telling you, this was wrong on so many levels as it pertains to us. Now, we know history has taught us any epidemic, any issue, any problem within these United States of America is not a problem until it's a problem for the Caucasian race or the Caucasian people. Because race is a social construct, as many other social constructs that affect our society and how we judge people and processes and whatever within the society. So guys, they started allowing the press. You know who came up first. You know who because the president is the one that points out, you speak, you speak, you speak. And when he says cut it off, the question is going south for him. Yeah, pass the mic, you know. So, you know, he was engaging with the Caucasian press people. You know, he was engaging with them, the media. And so I'm wondering, I'm thinking, because, you know, the way that the camera's spanning, I'm wondering, man, is it any of us out there that's going to ask questions pertaining to us? You know, because it's made to look like it's the entire society, right? No, we live it, so we know. And so the one black press person, a guy got up and asked questions. Guys, I couldn't hardly sit still. So he asked the question about their plan for prolonged, in other words, needs of this pandemic. You know, okay, so you're going to put the test out there now for the people who may need further assistance, such as respirators. What's your plan? You know, what's your strategy for that? What are you planning to do? What do you have in place? Guys, Dr. Fauci had the audacity to get up to the podium and pretty much, now I'm going to break it down. I'm not going to say it verbatim. This is what he was saying in essence, translated. Your question is not legitimate. And if I'm not mistaken, he used the word illegitimate. He said, I've already spoken on this. You should have gotten it from what I previously said. So sit your butt down because you're not worth addressing. So they hurry up and got him out of the way, right? Kept on going. They got to the Asians. Treated them pretty decently. Because everybody knows this is just truth. This is real truth talk right here, guys. Now, you know, a long time ago, they kind of adopted the Asians as like a honorary Caucasians into their group, right? So don't want to, you know, ain't going to go too far with them. They know when to shut it off. And if they don't, we gonna let them know their place. That's how they treat them, right? So, pretty cool. You know, they were asking questions pertaining to their group. Guys, keep remembering, keep this in your mind. It is very, very important. Group mentality. I'm telling you, we keep playing with it, and we gonna get it. We already done got it. We gonna get it again. We're steady getting it. But it's going to get deeper, guys. It's going to get deeper. So with all of this hoopla about the population turning into predominantly people of color in the near future, they don't seem to be worried. They don't seem to recognize it. And trust and believe they keep up with everything. They keep up with everything. And so they're moving on along. Get through with the other, you know, reporters. So to get to the, I'm thinking in my mind, man, was that the only, you know, black person sitting in the press section? Black lady got up. Reporter asked her question. They had the audacity to tell her. What did they say to this lady? I'm telling you. It was just a spectacle. But I tell you one thing, CNN picked it up. Before I could get here to talk to you guys, CNN had it. CNN said it was appalling. The way that they were treating this. She's asking, I believe her question was pertaining to something about the like the shutdown or the I don't want to guess on it. You guys go back and look at it, but I believe it was pertaining to the whole travel ban and things of that nature. Shut her down, quick, fast, in a hurry. She was asking Trump. I got it, you guys. She was asking Trump, like, okay, now, your own people. Now, you said your own people. You had a committee together for the pandemic committee was already established. You broke it down and said you didn't need it any longer. So that prolonged the government making a move to strategize on how they were going to handle it, right? He said, that wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. I didn't have any. Who is the commander-in-chief? This is what I'm going to need to know. He said it wasn't my fault. I didn't do that. Hurry up and set her down. So they keep going on around. Keep going on around. Lady got up. You're going to always have one. That's why I always tell you guys, we're not looking for 100% cooperation within our group, but we're looking for enough to make an impact. Because this next question was from a Caucasian woman. Because they were up there, I'm telling you, you got to watch it. They were up there shaking hands. I thought the protocol was 6 feet apart. They were up there practically like they were getting ready to sing Kumbaya. Shaking hands. And I'm thinking, didn't they just say, didn't the report just come in that Trump had come into contact with at least 2 people? 2 people that were known or tested positive for the virus. He had no problem with shaking hands. One of the people on the panel was like, bruh, take it back. He took the elbow up. Everyone else, they had no problem with it. And so this Caucasian lady reporter, she was like, okay, Dr. Fauci that you have up there, Dr. Fauci, he just said that if you come in contact, close contact, shaking hands, all of that, with somebody who's known to be infected, you need to go get tested. So she asked him, have you been tested? Oh, we're in the process. We're in the process of getting me tested. He said, but I feel fine. Now, granted, this man is over 70 years old. Now, I thought part of the protocol was anybody over 60 was, at high risk, at least. He doesn't feel a need, though. He said, I feel fine. I feel fine. You better read between the lines on this stuff, people. You better read between the lines on this stuff. It's a lot more that's surrounding this whole thing. It's a lot more that's surrounding this. And so she said, he said, well, my doctor told me that I didn't, if I feel fine, I didn't have. So she asked the question, legitimate question. You have a doctor up here that's addressing the public, that's telling us, giving us the protocol, giving us the instructions on what we should be doing. Are you listening to him? She said, or are you taking the advice of your own doctor? What should we be doing? Should we be listening to our own doctors? Should we be listening to this doctor that you have up here that's giving us the rundown on what's going on and what we need to be doing? So he kind of stuttered a little bit, then he said, well, I'm going to listen to my own doctor. And they were all just in the back just now. Yep, yep. And then they came up, he said, and they said, yep. And then he said, well, she said, well, who should we be listening to? Dr. Fauci. You should listen to your own doctor. Well, why are you up here? You're giving a blanket. You're giving blanket instructions for the entire population. And then you just contradicted what you told us to do. Which one is it? Hurry up and set her down. Finally, they got to another black, she looked like she was black anyway, reporter. So her question was kind of mild. She wasn't asking a whole lot, but then once again, he kept bringing Dr. Fauci up there, and they were hurrying up, scurrying them on the way. But I tell you one thing, guys. When the Asians got up and got to asking about economic, political relations, because Asia is doing way better now. Way better than they were when this thing first broke. And I'm just, I'm just sitting up here. I'm looking up statistics. I'm looking up different things as he's speaking and as they're speaking. And then so I'm looking like, okay, I wonder what's going, because nobody ever says anything about the black people around the globe. Y'all remember that Ebola in Nigeria? We didn't really hear about that. Who came to their rescue? They figured it out. That's what happened. They figured it out. So I'm thinking in my mind, wonder what's going on, in Africa. How are they being affected by this? Guys, one guy from Italy was visiting Nigeria a couple of months ago, I think, when this stuff first came out. Nigeria locked it down. Now, do they have a few cases? They do. Africa has what? 54, 55 countries? Guys, they hardly have any compared to Europe, Italy, and the Americas. So while you're going all over into the UK, to Asia, you never thought to, let me check and see what they're doing over in Africa. Because if they had the wherewithal to fight off something like Ebola, just perhaps they know what they're doing. They quarantined that Italian man. Right off the bat, boom, bam, no. And they don't have that many, they don't have that many live cases. They set up portable machines for people traveling through. They shut down, can't travel in there like you were, to wash their hands. And that's another topic for another day, because I can't understand why we need to tell grown people to be clean. I thought you learned that as a child. That sounds like a family meeting to me. Like, what happened? That nobody taught you the importance of cleanliness. But another topic for another day, right? So this president goes on to say, oh, you know what? There's a high percentage, because you guys know he said that he was banning certain European countries except for the UK. The UK has a high number of cases there, just increased, I think, by 200 and something today. This is March, Friday the 13th. Just increased. So that's one of the questions that one of the reporters had. You know what his answer was? He said, oh yeah, that's a high percentages of deaths. He said there's a high percentage of deaths from a certain region. And that's unfortunate. That so many people would die from these particular regions. Like whatever else is happening anywhere else, oh well, okay, wish y'all the best. But that's really unfortunate that this is coming out of Europe. I could barely watch that briefing, that conference. I just could barely watch it. Because it was so blatantly disrespectful on so many levels, people. But now I got to get us, though. I got to get us. I have to. Because We're too concerned about stuff that should be a non-factor. Whatever is happening on these entertainment shows. And like I said, once again, I'm not knocking people. If you want to, everybody has a little something that entertains them, right? But it shouldn't be affecting your livelihood. It shouldn't be getting in the way of how you and your people fare in the society that you live in. It shouldn't be getting in the way of that. But it does. Why? Because we're not taking care of business, people. We're not taking care of business. I'm telling you, I ask questions. I interview us when I'm out and about, and I'm interacting with in different settings. I want to know what we're thinking. And I watch the informational, the informative YouTube videos. Not to say I don't watch other things, but for the most part, that's what I'm looking at. And I look at historical information. That gives you some insight. Because you know what? If you haven't learned from history, you'll do the same thing over again. So it's good to know what happened, what were the results, what went well, what didn't go well, and what we never, ever, ever gonna do again. I'm gonna keep saying this, people. We got to get some group mentality going on here. Some group thinking. We have to stick together. We have to stick together. Stop thinking individually, like I said about that white neighbor of yours that you're so close with. Cool. But this is not just your white neighbor, your white friend at work or whatever. This is systematic. We have to come together so that we affect our outcomes in the society as a group. And I shouldn't have to keep repeating that it's not going to be 100%. I hear people saying, well, you're never going to get all of us together. The Caucasians don't have everybody on the same boat with them, but they have enough. They have enough to make an impact. They have enough to get the outcome that they want. The same with every other group. To get the outcome. And then you can't measure your outcome by someone else's outcome. You shouldn't be looking for the same thing. What is important to you in your group? What's your group norms? What is it that you guys want in this society? What do you want? How do you want your future generations to fare? It's so hard to find even employment. It doesn't matter the level of our education. To a certain extent, it does not matter. Because we're always in the position of asking. We're never in the position of power and control. And as long as you're in that place, you're never going to be able to speak your truth. They'll give you a few little things to appease you. Once again, like I said, they study, they know us, they know us probably better than we know ourselves. Because a lot of our action or potential actions is a precursor for how they're able to dominate. But we don't get that. We still on that horizontal stuff. Think vertically, people. How do we move up? How do we move up? That we're not afraid to speak out on our jobs. We got to think about this. And we got to do better. So I want you guys to go out there. Here's your homework. Go out there and look at that video. I'm quite sure someone has it out there. Go out there and look at that press conference or whatever they want to call it. Go out there and look at that. Put in the comments what you saw, how you interpreted. What was your perception of it? How did you feel about it? Remember, this is just one woman's thoughts about it. But it ties in so much, people, to what I've been talking about on my videos. And it's better you hear it from me or someone like me that cares about what happens to us. It's another thing, people. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And you better know that. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. You better recognize. And until next time, you guys stay safe, stay strong, stay smart, and stay together.